Hi, it's Chris from No Get Stress, and lately, as travel has begun to get back online, I keep hearing this question: how can we engage in travel wellness when circumstances demand attention on travel safety? Good question, but the real question is, why should you have to choose between one or the other? I understand there may be little appetite for wholesale restructure of travel policy, given the lessons from travel shutting down in lockdown. But creative organisations and individuals can get a lasting outsized return dependent on how they focus and answer that question. Currently, the challenge of guaranteeing travel safety is a mixed bag, as border controls and quarantine measures are still fluid, even as efforts are being made to develop some kind of consensus. The World Travel and Tourism Council initiative to introduce safe travel standards, for instance, is an admirable thing to do, but its own communiqué says it cannot guarantee to keep COVID at bay. In SAP Concours May 2020 survey, 65% of those surveyed indicated ensuring personal safety was in their top 3 priorities going forward, as well as looking after themselves and not getting sick and their families. So as the conversation develops, what is surprising about the survey and what was found is that employees expect the employer to do all the heavy lifting, all on their own. I understand that the duty of care provision in travel policy is there for a reason, but at this stage and the way things are going, it's impossible for that to be the case where the employer shoulders the entire responsibility. We need both parties to come together, have conversation, and make solutions that work. Other research from McKinsey hints at the difficulties of introducing seamless integrated safety standards, touting the benefits of agile practices and iterations of what works to arrive at durable solutions. If these processes sit inside the current paradigm, they will still be ineffective. And what we need to do is to bring these two together to make sure we get solutions that work for all parts of the conversation. A focus on preemptive travel wellness tools as part of the culture, company-wide, helps the travellers and it builds capital in the organisation. Like I said, the heavy lifting has to be done on both sides. The challenge is tools like the ones adopted by companies that are making it work, like Google and other Silicon Valley successes, work because people have to implement them consistently in the current conditions. Rather than seeing these tools as perks in the workplace, they need to be seen as essential to the modern workplace, particularly for those who have travel function as part of their job description. More pointedly, to the current problem with travel safety in the age of pandemic, current medical consensus also tells us that there are certain groups of people who are more susceptible, either through health statuses or socio-economical backgrounds. And the weighting of wellness programs to be reactive to health events puts these people at a disadvantage. This has to be the sector of people that we actually focus on, because if we don't, they will still be vulnerable even as we put these travel safety measures in place. Stopping to reimagine what travel wellness can become through the lens of looking at our most vulnerable travellers is one way to handle the question of travel safety and set a new direction for us, people who travel, and the organisations that have to look after them. This is one way to develop and broaden this conversation, and I'd be interested to hear from you about how you think this can develop, as we know that when we look after our most vulnerable, we all thrive together and make solutions better. Thank you.